Hi, welcome to 4PatientCare. My name's Fred. Today we're going to spend a few minutes here going over a high-level overview of the 4PatientCare solution suite that you can get inside of FoxFire. So a couple of quick points here of interest, right? Most practitioners are describing that they want to find new patients and they want to reactivate their existing patient population, right? So this is a point that 4PatientCare is going to help alleviate for you and help you gain those new patients, right? We want to make sure that the no-show rate can get as close to zero as possible, and we're going to do that through effectively communicating with your patient population. And when a patient's been seen, we want to ensure those patients that had a great experience, we want to make sure that experience goes viral online. We want to make sure that patients that didn't have such a stellar experience are then filtered in to a mechanism where we can give you that valuable feedback so you as a practice can streamline those operations. And all the while we want to automate these processes, right? So how does 4PatientCare work? Well, we are the company that has the true web scheduling system. So this is going to be plastered all over creation, and you as a practice maintain full control of your schedule. So you're never giving up that schedule. You're not double booking. And in reality, what's transpiring is that patients that want to schedule an appointment when it's convenient for them now have the ability to do so because in real time we're reading out of your FoxFire system for the appointments that truly are available and ones that you want to show as available based off of a whole suite of criteria that we'll get into shortly. With the web scheduler being the fundamental building block of the 4PatientCare system, whether you use it or not, we have a recall system that's very effective in reactivating those existing patients out of your FoxFire system. So we know exactly who should be in, who's not currently scheduled for an appointment, and then we're going to use what we call intelligent escalation, which is simply getting the right message to the right patient in the form that they're going to respond best to. And we use three core modalities: email, text, and voice services. Now, if you'd like to include postal communications, that's something that you guys can take advantage of at an additional cost, but it is something you can have after we've exhausted the other modalities. Now, the good thing about the 4PatientCare recall system, not only do we use intelligent escalation, but we also embed our online web scheduler in there if you guys are using it. So the good news is that patients who are looking to schedule their next exam when it's outside the confines of your normal business hours can now do so. And that's a great way to funnel patients that you may not be seeing now, or they may postpone it till it's convenient for them when the practice is open and they can call in. You know, that revenue may get pushed out, but with 4PatientCare, they're going to schedule, like I said, when it's convenient for them. We include reminder service as well. Again, the core three: email, text, voice services. The nice thing about the 4PatientCare reminders that you won't find anywhere else is the customization level down to a granular level of even the appointment reason. So not only are your patients confirming their appointments, but they're also coming in prepared for them. Give you a quick example. With 4PatientCare, when we remind your patient of a contact lens follow-up, well, as a practice, if you have an automated solution, wouldn't it be great if that automated solution could get the confirmation and afterwards thank the patient and let them know that because it's a contact lens follow-up appointment, that they also need to wear their contacts into that appointment at least 4 hours prior. So that's the level of customization you get with 4PatientCare. You can literally tailor the communications down to the appointment reason. So now you have prepared patients for their appointments. We also have no-show follow-up. So let's say that one patient who confirmed their appointment ends up being a no-show. Well, look at your current practice operations. What are you doing and how are you managing those no-shows, right? With 4PatientCare, we have a blanket mechanism to ensure that we're not involving your staff, but we are reactivating those patients that ended up being a no-show. So this is something that automatically gets triggered out. And those patients that did show up, we're going to have the happy patients go viral online, and we're going to have the unhappy patients get filtered into valuable feedback for your practice. So hopefully we're all together here, but there's even more value with the 4PatientCare system. So you've got the ability to utilize our system. If you're pre-appointing patients, we're going to contact them automatically. We've got a real-time dashboard, and you've got all the marketing materials and tools at your disposal with the 4PatientCare system. So there's tons of value here. We currently service thousands of providers across the U.S., so it's likely that you or a colleague may know someone that's using the 4PatientCare system currently and can get a good reference from them. See how the system's working out well for them. Pricing, that's always the big thing before we get into the actual demo. So at 4PatientCare, we're a privately held company. We don't believe in nickel and diming practices, through the subscription. So what we do is we offer a 1-year commitment. It includes a 60-day trial period. So in the essence, you're really only committing to 10 months. If at any point inside of the 60-day paid trial period you feel that, hey, the services aren't for us, they didn't meet our expectations, feel free to let us know, and you're not obligated to anything in the future. There's a one-time setup fee as well, and this goes into the development and customization of your entire system. Again, we're the only company in the industry that offers not only a true web scheduler, but communications down to a granular level of even the appointment reason. So there's a ton of value in the 4PatientCare system. It's also on an unlimited suite, so don't worry about overages. Let's look at the system. So here's an example of a recall email. So it's time to reactivate that patient. Customize the picture, the banner at the bottom, and if you're utilizing the online web scheduler, you can see it's very easy for that patient to take action. We've got recall text messages as well. Embedded in there is a short link. That short link goes to a mobile site. So existing patients are going to have their information given to them after they validate who they are. So we're completely HIPAA and high-tech compliant. It's worth mentioning here. It's not an app they have to download. It's not a username and password they have to remember. This is proprietary technology that you get with 4PatientCare, and it's one of the reasons why FoxFire has chosen 4PatientCare. So the patient's going to select the appointment time and date, provider they're coming in for, and again, this is all something the practice controls. But once they're done, they're going to have a confirmed appointment, and you as a practice are going to get an email back showing the patient's information, pertinent demographics, info, and you're going to be able to schedule that appointment as if you spent 10 minutes on the phone triaging what they're coming in for. So there's no redundancies there. If you decide that you want to use the 4PatientCare voice services, we've got natural language calls. So what's not a push one for this, two for that, patients that have Bluetooth, let's say, connected are going to be able to engage that call. So it works well across all forms of your patient population, and it's a really good service to include along with the email and text messaging services. If you'd like to use postal, this is really that fourth modality. It's something that's included. We integrate with the post office. You get valuable feedback as to current addresses of your patients. So there's all sorts of reasons why you might want to use this. Fully customizable, and it's patient specific. So it doesn't involve any staff time, and we already know that we've targeted this patient by the other three modalities. So it's something you can use. Again, it's separate of the unlimited services because we do pay for postage and printing. Real-time web scheduling, pretty straightforward. Really how this transpires is the patient's going to choose the location, the provider, and the reason they're coming in for. Now in real time at 4PatientCare, based off of the rules that you've created in advance, we're going to show the future available appointments inside of your FoxFire system that you want to show as available. So to give you kind of an example, let's say Dr. James Williams is a new provider, has full availability, but you don't want patients to think that this provider never sees patients, right? So maybe Tuesday is fully available, but you're not showing that even though it is available in FoxFire because you've told 4PatientCare the confines of your system. You're also going to customize the reasons they're coming in for. Maybe the practice only wants to have comprehensive eye exam, or maybe just new patient exam, or maybe they want to be very extensive and have a laundry list. These are all things that you get to customize, as you can kind of see here on the right. You have full control over your schedule. You never lose that with the 4PatientCare online web scheduler. At the end of it, you're going to require the fields that you want the patient to fill out. If it's an existing patient, it may be pre-populated. If it's a new patient, they'll have to fill out what you require. So if you're looking for insurance information, if you're looking for pertinent demographics info, it's all listed there. Some practices like to keep it succinct. Other ones want to make it a little bit more extensive because their appointments might be a little more lucrative to them in certain aspects, right? At the end of the day, the patient's going to schedule that appointment. It's now instantly emailed to them, and it's instantly emailed to the practice so you can put it in your FoxFire system. We also are going to do something that you as a practice probably already are doing, and that's asking, do you want to schedule another family member? It's listed there, and it usually gives you a bump in your scheduling by about 2 to 5%. Now, let's talk about the real-time web scheduling mobile aspect. So the good news about the real-time web scheduling mobile is that, again, it's not an application you have to download or a website you've got to remember username and password. If you're an existing patient, you're simply going to validate who you are by either the last four of your social, your birth date. You as a practice decide the validation tier. Other than that, the patient's going to simply select their appointment and they're all set. So the great news is this web scheduler can get plastered everywhere on your website. If you've got iMed insurance, you can now have that big purple button there. So it gives you added exposure. The idea is we want to create a mechanism for when a patient's looking for that next exam, it's very easy for them to get into the office without tying up your staff, which is great. We're going to reallocate all those inbound phone calls that you may currently be receiving. It's also available to be added to your Facebook. Again, this is all on an unlimited solution, so nothing's extra for all of these. No-show follow-ups. Here's an example. If you're not using the web schedule, obviously you wouldn't have the Schedule Online Now button. But if you are, it's great because rescheduling is easy. Either click on the button below or simply contact the office. Reminder emails. This is what it looks like sort of in a broken down version. If you're looking at your email, it's going to be something you can scroll down. But we're generating action. So people are confirming or canceling their appointments, fully customizable. Reminder text messages. The good news is on the left we've got text messages that will generate response that will automatically be written back into your FoxFire system. So pushing 1 is going to confirm that, 2 is going to cancel it, and they can even contact the practice, right? On the right-hand side, we're looking at a text message reminder that might be more of a last-ditch effort or sort of a simple reminder 2 to 4 hours before their appointment to help lower that no-show rate. Now, if their appointment's at 8 a.m., we're not going to send it out at 5 a.m. We're going to send it out the night before because we do not over-communicate, and we also don't communicate prior to 8 a.m. Prior to 10 a.m. or after 8 p.m. on normal business days. And you can even customize the timing of the communications in between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. Phone call reminders. We've got ones that generate responses, and we've got ones that are simple reminders. So there's a lot of different actual voice services you can choose from. And we hire a voice actor, so they're going to record your calls, not to be redundant on that point. Here's what the interface looks like inside of your FoxFire system. If a patient is reminded of their appointment, you're going to know that on a practice level. So if you ever to get a call in and there was any discrepancies, it's real easy for you to pull this information, look at it, and make some sort of educated decisions. Confirmations are also going to show up in here. So what's nice with your FoxFire system is all of this gets written back in. You can see that on the right-hand side with the green and red icons there. So we've got some confirmed patients and we've got a cancellation there as well. So this is all great news from you looking at your schedule. The 4PatientCare dashboard. We're going to give you some real-time return on investment. So the good news is we use the AOA average of $300. So 4PatientCare communicated with this patient and they scheduled their appointment, right? So that's the AOA average that we use. We don't use some sort of arbitrary number. Now the good news is if you tell me, hey Fred, 300 numbers is great, but we use more, we probably get more like $225 per patient that comes in, let's say, for their annual eye exam. Then let us know that because I want to change the numerical value behind the return on investment. I really want this to be beneficial for your practice, and I don't want it to be some inflated number. If it's more than 300, even better, let us know. That's just a closer view of it. We've got quick reports, so there's all sorts of reporting that you can take advantage of, slice and dice options. We've got ways you can look at your web scheduled appointments as well, even though they are emailed to you. So there's a lot of things that you can utilize through the dashboard. Now, another thing that you get through 4PatientCare is a company called Everseat that we just partnered with. And one of the great things about Everseat is if, let's say, you have a cancellation and you've got all these patients calling in saying, hey, can I get in today? I've got an emergency, whatever it may be. You can put them on the Everseat waiting list. And as soon as you get a cancellation, instantly an outbound communication can go to all of those patients that are on your sort of waiting list. And the first one to respond will get that appointment, which is great because now you can manage that sort of cancellation appointment and that waiting list, if you will. It's all included in a 4PatientCare system. So the last part is understanding your patient flow as far as the patients that had a great experience and the patients that didn't have a great experience. So we're going to send these out to patients that you've seen. And the top 3 questions here are what you might look at as a third-party review. So this is something that 4PatientCare manages for you, and you're pinged when people fill this out and it says, hey, you've got 3 reviews waiting to be approved. So you're going to approve any of these top 3 questions before they ever show up online on the third-party 4PatientCare review site. Now, this fourth question is called a Net Promoter Score. And what it means is that an 8, 9, or 10 means that's a promoter of your practice. Therefore, 8, 9, or 10 on that fourth question, they're going to get this bingo. We're going to send them to a first-party review site or refer a friend or family member. Now, this page is completely customizable. This is just a standard template. If you're finding that you're getting a lot of value out of Google and you want to funnel everyone to Google, we can just simply make this a Google particular button icon that they can select, right? Now, a 7 or below here, they do not see this patient or this page. In turn, the patient gets to get a drill down survey, and you guys are instantly going to get this email to you so that you can rectify what would be a negative situation. And that's it. It's done. So from the provider and the patient's perspective, it's very succinct, short to the point, and you're going to get the benefits, you're going to get the results that you're looking for with the benefits of having first-party reviews driven into that. That's an example of those top 3 questions or the third-party review site that 4PatientCare manages. If you're using someone else that does third-party reviews, we can already upload these if you decide that you want to switch over to 4PatientCare and start utilizing our services. Here's the same thing, and this is what it looks like on Facebook. Again, nothing ever shows up here until you approve it. Again, third-party reviews, keep that in mind. Marketing, it's all included. If you are using the web scheduler, you can now funnel patients into scheduling that next appointment. So we've even got newsletters, move announcements, all this stuff is included. So that's the core of the 4PatientCare system that you guys can get with your FoxFire system. Now here's the second part, new patient acquisition. So outside of reactivating the biggest portion of your existing patient population through the 4PatientCare web scheduler, recalls, etc., now let's talk about how can we get new patients. So now we're going to talk about the pay-to-play aspect of 4PatientCare. Now, we're the only company in the industry that's doing this, so it's fairly new. But what the good thing is that we're seeing practices that are getting anywhere between 3 to 5 times ROI within the first month of doing the sort of pay-to-play or PPC campaigns. So what does it mean? So when you market to new patients, you've got to think internally, what do we currently do on an office level? How do we get new patients? Can we track it? Who's seeing this stuff? Who has the time to really work on getting new patients? Sometimes you have a marketing manager, things of that nature. The good news is with 4PatientCare is we can control all of this, right? You decide how much money you want to spend, how we can track all of it, and we'll make sure it's going to patients that you're looking for, right? So here's a couple of quick facts, and this may be relevant to everyone that's sort of looking at this, but really, a user will select a site in less than 5 seconds. As you Google search a practice or an optometrist, ophthalmologist in your area, you're not going to spend time going through page and page and page after that, right? So you're going to select it fairly quickly, and you're going to select the first one that looks promising. Other than that, you're not going to scroll down as it kind of mentions there. So why should you choose PPC, pay-per-click advertising, right? You're only paying when it's clicked. Not only that, though, but we're going to help give you valuable feedback on how things are working for you. So we control all the tracking mechanisms for you. So you're not just blindly spending money. We're going to show you how it's converting. How does that work? Well, we give you a PPC specialist here at 4PatientCare. It's focused in your industry. Everything is unique to your practice, so everything's custom tailored to it. And this has been tried and tested as far as our conversion tools are concerned. So we use our proprietary technology along with a few other resources to ensure that you guys not only are converting, but you're tracking where your money is being spent and how it's working for you. So the starting point of this is creating a landing page for you guys. Now this is very different from a website. So this is going to be custom tailored to your practice, and it has a specific goal. You may see it looking at it, but it's to get an appointment scheduled. So when you think about new patients, you want to ensure that whatever you're showing them gets them to take action, and that action is to get an appointment scheduled into your practice. So that's what that landing page is for, and that is what we customize and tailor specifically for your practice here at 4PatientCare. So you think about the money that you're spending, right? You've got the number of impressions, so the more impressions that you make, the more that it's going to funnel down into eventually having booked patients. Now the good news is that you pay for PPC with 4PatientCare, but you get lifetime patients at your practice, so long as obviously you're managing their experience in the practice properly, right, and their care. So with 4PatientCare, you think about, okay, we have a new patient with through this PPC, but now it comes time for their annual recall, and you've got patients that you're getting a revenue off of year over year, but you only paid for the PPC on that initial sort of new patient acquisition. So, not to be redundant, but we've got a slide here talking roughly about that. So you've got lifetime value there. The good news is that you as a practice are going to be advertising yourself above practices in your surrounding area. So when patients in your area are looking for specific keywords like an optometrist, ophthalmologist, eye doctor in my area, all of that is going to give you the step up above the other practices that may show up down the list on that search result. The other thing is we're going to give you a monthly analysis meeting. So at 4PatientCare, we're not just going to spend your money on the Google ads and all of that. We're going to give you feedback on a monthly basis of where exactly your money is going, how it's being spent, and what are the results that it's generating for your practice. We even can track the calls. So when a patient calls in that number off the landing page, we're going to record that call. So you as the office manager, owner, whatever it may be, you're going to get to hear how your staff is interacting with these new patients. Are they actually getting them into the schedule, or are these patients being turned away maybe on the phone call? We'll also track the online web scheduler and that funnel aspect. So at the end of the day, the idea is that we are going to help you acquire new patients. That's the main goal of this sort of pay-to-play or pay-per-click advertising solution here. Is get new patients in the door and get you some long-lasting new revenue streams. If you have any questions, feel free to call 4PatientCare. My name is Fred. Again, not to be redundant, but Fred. And we've got a great team here at 4PatientCare. We can't wait to get you guys on board and show you all the great benefits of 4PatientCare.